Oi, oi, my dollars, it's that time of the season where I'm going to be teaching you how to play Demonology Warlock, but unlike in past seasons, I'm actually going to be putting the Raid and Mythic Plus guide into one. I will be telling you in this video your stats, your gear with bullions, your gear in general, your talents, and your rotation. Whoa! Oh, and consumables too. So, should we just get started with, how about let's do some stats, yeah, beautiful stats. Yeah. So, stat number one, you want to belch into the mic. It's a really good pre-raid buff, beautiful, it's how you play. Just kidding. Anyway, let me tell you what you're going to go for. So, as a warlock, you want crit verse. Your crit verse spec is demo lock. It's a priority, yeah? But AoE, you like mastery a little bit more. It's more valuable. It's more valuable for you. And technically, you do want a bit of haste, but you prefer it not to be variably changing, yeah? You'd rather have a static amount of haste for the entire time. Just you don't really care about haste that much. It's crit versus mastery haste. Crit versus haste and mastery. Sim yourself because it keeps changing. The only answer to your stats is to sim yourself. Okay? Oh, and intellect above everything. But sometimes you need to sim yourself for that as well, because sometimes the intellect gain is not worth the secondary stat loss. It depends. So yeah, get simming, you need to do it. With your enchants, it's like, what, you want your avoidance enchants, leech does borderline nothing for you. You're on the instam leg thing, the belt clasp at some point, um, and yeah, just do your rings with whatever stat you're lacking. I've got a bit of extra verse, I want to hit that 30% break wall, well, whatever, I don't even know what I'm saying now. But yeah, there's a thing in this stats called the soft cap. Yeah, when you get plus 30%, you can see my crit's almost there. But once you've got plus 30% on your stats, then it starts getting diminishing value. Yeah, so that's when you can kind of put your stats more focused in some of the more lower priority stats. So say you got 30 crit, 30 verse, then you can start putting more into mastery and haste. Depending on what you're lacking a bit more. But yeah, like I say, the end result is to sim. Your boots you want Watcher's Loam on as well, by the way. For now, I'm still running Safe Devotion on the staff, but I may look into running one of these stat enchants. I'm very, very certain, though, that the haste enchant will be a definite no, solely because the change in haste would be too bad for the imps despawning. So, don't want that. Not at all. Right. Gear. Let's start off with crafted gear and your embellishments. Bruv. So, as you can see right now, I'm running this elemental lariat. Getting rid of that, it's gone. Bye-bye lariat, you sucked. Hated you. We're getting two pieces of gear with the blue silken lining embellishment. So, what people are theorizing is optimal is to craft it on the braces and the boots. Braces and boots. Was it braces and belt? Braces and boots it was. Yeah. 100% braces and boots. Why? Because there's just not many pieces of gear in the season which are actually that good for you. I personally put crit verse on my stuff. Crit mastery is also a decent option as well. Verse mastery is also a decent option. But I'd say go crit verse because it's easier to change the stats of everything else. And now I'm going to talk to you a bit about our tier set. So, our 4 set this season is actually the same as the season 3 tier set, which is why I'm not waiting until I've got it to do this video, because, well, I can tell you how to play with Doombread. I've got it. It's easy. So, what is our tier set? Basically, we press Demon Bolt, there's a debuff on the target, every soul shard spent handle cooldown, reduce the timer on this 20-second debuff, yeah, but it does still count down normally, don't you worry. And then it explodes, AoE explosion, dealing shadow damage. And then it has a chance to summon a demon, which does either a single target or an AoE Shadow Bolt, depending on what you're fighting. It does big damage. Trust me. Look, it's my top damage in the last key. Just kidding, of course it's the felguard. Anyway, and so yeah, that is a season 4 tier set. It's the same as season 3. You want it on every slot but the gloves, preferably. The gloves, you're gonna try and get a bit of Mythic Plus gear for that. In terms of bullions, what are you spending your bullions on? Well, first of all, you want to be getting Dreambinders. This staff is incredibly powerful, with the odd use affecting big damage being a crit verse spec, and yeah, it's also very high item level. Gonna get a big chunk of int. Those secondary stats on there are not amazing, but if we had other stuff, then we'd probably be overcapping it all on like crit and verse. So to be honest, with everything else being statted the way it is, we're fine to take a bit of a haste mastery piece on here. This is by far our best weapon we can get this season. In terms of trinkets, you will be keeping Belorolos and Nimnews. You want to be spending your bullions on these as well. By week 6, you should have all 3 of these pieces, and you can upgrade it to full. Brilliant. Now, you've got a few more bullions you'll be able to spend throughout the season. What would I advise getting from the raid? Well, first of all, what we want to do is, if I come over here, big boy. Oh no, we're here. Eridog drops the Seal of Diana's Chosen. If you can get this, big damage, bis stats, you want this. You really, really want this. Now, I know a lot of people will be thinking, with the Eridog rings, that's what we need. So we also want this, right? No, there's a better option. We are not taking the Seal of Filial Duty. Instead, we are gonna go back to big old Volcarus and take the Aura Boreal Necklet. It's better stats for us, and it still gives us that shield that we need. So, Eridog Ring, you want to get that. Aura Boreal Necklet, you want to get that as well. Eridog Ring, if you need a bit more damage first, spend bullions on that first. And this neck, if you need more tankiness, then get that first. Up to you, depends on how you feel as you're playing. And then, final thing I'd recommend getting with bullions, I know, we're getting so many pieces, is of course the Voice of the Silent Star. It's going to be one of the highest competition items going, so yeah, unless you're guaranteed it, then you best go spend and get this cloak. It is very, very powerful. The rest of your gear, any piece that I have not mentioned, fill it up with gear from Mythic Plus that will give you stats to help you blast. As I mentioned earlier, the stat priority, follow that. If you can't be bothered to sim, but if you can be bothered to sim, then sim, because Demonology gearing is 90% pressing the sim button, okay? I'm sorry, this is how it is these days. Anyway, that's it for gearing. That's it for gearing, stats, enchants, consumables. You want your first class for Mystic Blast, your crit for raiding. Your foods that are determined on your stats a bit, as with your runes. As mentioned again, sim to find out. And of course, your potions, it's still Ultimate Power and the Dreamwalker's Potion. Excuse me. Woo! Talking a lot. Right, talents. So what I'm going to do in this section is first I'm going to show you my dungeon talents and then my dungeon rotation. Then I'm going to show you my raid talents and my raid rotation. So yeah, start right off. A class tree. This is very standard. Nothing really changes. Normally people would say run it like this. Okay, there's nothing behind my camera as well. Grim Feast and Resolute Barrier, don't take them. Behind my camera there's Frequent Donor and there's Fel Synergy. When I want to be a bit more tankier, I'll take a point out of Fiendish Stride and put it into Fel Synergy, especially if I don't need to use Burning Rush as much. I'm opting to use it at the start of this season, while we're a bit squishier, trying to push in the higher keys. Shadow Fury is a great talent as well. If you want, you could probably take Dark Fury and still be quite good. Depends on your comp a little bit. Like, you know, if you've got a monk using leg sweep, then there's no point taking Dark Fury, because he will leg sweep. As for talents, this is a pretty standard Mythic Plus build. We're basically going around bigger Handle Dan damage, the Dreadstalkers are AoEing, we've got the implosions, we've got the demonic core generation, we've got the guillotine, we've got the pet that buffs other pets, aka Tyrant, we've got demonic strength, we've got the passive Bile Scourge bombers, and we have the Grimoire Felguard, because Felguard is bloody broken, he does everything, and the passive Soul Shard generation with Soul Strike. Sorry Vile Fiend, those of you that love it, I will actually do the Valfin guide this season later on. Stay tuned. Anyway, so my rotation for bursting in Mythic Plus, what I like to do is I'll basically follow my standard burst window, which I'll show you more for the raid. But I won't do anything with sacrifice souls. I'll just build, spend. But yeah, so what I'm going to do here, just wait for myself to get a second imp, going to sacrifice them, going to go in with a Shadow Bolt, send out the Grimoire Felguard, let's send out Dreadstalkers, Demon Bolt on one target, tab to another, Demon Bolt, spend on Hand of Gul'dan, burn with our Hand of Gul'dans, let's go, summon the Tyrant with Racial, get the Demonic Strength out, then use my Nimuse Trinket, now I'm going to throw down the Guillotine, absolutely brilliant. Hold off on using your implosion for now. You are going to want to use it at the end of your Tyrant. Boom, let him go wild. Get some more. And then, oh, what's that? We got more Demonic Core. Keep sacrificing. Spread the Doom Band. Let it go around. Big damage. Oh, what's that? We can use Belorolos now. Bang, we're going to use it. Then we're going to play around Shadow Invocation once we've used up all the demonic cores. Now we're just at a point where it's like, oh, what's that? One shard hogs? Yeah, let's do it. Oops, that's the wrong training dummy. But yeah, anyway, that's how you AoE as Demonology Warlock. As you can see, it's big damage for quite little effort. So the priority is get the Tyrant going. This will get you your big swarm of demons to play around with. You want to prioritize using Demonic Strength with your Felguard, then you want to prioritize using Guillotine. If you can do this in the Tyrant window, then great. If not, just use it off cooldown. Like, I'd only hold it for, like, if I'm actually in the Tyrant ramp, then I'll hold it. If I'm not in the Tyrant ramp, then I'm just going to send these two off cooldown. Yeah, you want to implode your imps just before they expire. Yeah? You want to spend your shards as a priority on cool Dreadstalkers, then on your imps. You want to Demon Bolt as many different targets as possible to spread the Doom brands. You want to keep Hand of Gul'daning. You Hand of Gul'dan on low shards as well in AoE. So you don't have to do 3 shards, you can do it on low shards, as that helps proc Shadow Invocation. But if you do have demonic cores, then just get the high shard stuff out so you can spread those doom brands at the same time. Be efficient. Now the next build I am going to show you is the raid build. What's changed? I mean, honestly, this is just personal preference. I'd probably swap to Strength of Will when raiding anyway. But yeah, I will take the Fiendish Strides and no Shadow Fury. Why would you, like, there's very few times you'd use Shadow Fury in a raid. I mean, sometimes it's worth it, say on Razageth, if your team are slacking and you want to be that solo carry Giga Chad. Behind my webcam, we've got Frequent Donor and Fel Synergy, and Grim Feast and Resolute Barrier are not taken. So, yep, ignore both of those. Not taken. I will be putting both these talent builds in the video description. So we've dropped a bit of AoE. We've swapped to hog damage for more imp damage, because we're not going to be imploding. We're just letting the imps go ham. We want to, basically, with this build, get a big tyrant set up, get as many demons out as possible, and then slaughter down some demon bolts to make use of sacrifice souls. And yeah, in a nutshell, you're more demon bolt based with your damage, but you are still like getting a demonic army. And don't overcap shards. So, pre-pull, gonna power siphon, 2 imp, shadow bolt, send in the demon, get the Grimoire felguard going. Now gonna go hit the cool dreadstalkers. Gonna go summon in a Handigal Dan, just gonna go and, yeah, keep doing Handigal Dan, try and get to those 10 imps. We got to the glorious 10 imps, we pop re-racial, we do the demonic strength after the tyrant, we now use the Nimuse trinket, big damage is going off. If you have any demonic cores at this stage, save it for the end of your tyrant go, as that's what's gonna get you more damage on your demon bolt. Tyrant is expiring, spam these 2 demon bolts. We didn't overcap shards as well. These are big damage demon bolts. Look at that, 128k, we're doing huge damage. And when this is over, as they've despawned, then we're going to go in for the Baloralos. And we hit the Baloralos. We're going to overcap on shards here, that's bad of me. But yeah, big damage. Prioritise the cool dreadstalkers over the Handigal down. It does more damage, and boom, that is brilliant. We are getting massive damage out here. So yeah, that's how you do single target. Honestly, in raid though, when you will do some AoE swaps, and most of the time it's just swapping to something like Shadow Bites for implosion. And if it gets real AoE, then yeah, you just pretty much play Mythic Plus council fights. That is Demonology Warlock. That is absolutely no liquid left in my vocal cords. Remember, guys, best in slot consumable is a lovely Brexit cup of tea. I'm just kidding. You don't have to be Brexit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out, contact me. I appreciate a bit of a long video, so you may have forgotten something. No question's a stupid question. Go ask it down below. I take that back. There are some stupid questions, but whatever. Ask! If you're stuck, if you're worried, if you're not sure about something, just ask. Like, no one is gonna talk shit about you in the comments, and if they do, then I've got your back. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later on in the season. Sweet one.